In the late 19th century, Mexico had a tyrannical president known as Porfirio Diaz. He ruled for more than 3 decades. And while Porfirio Diaz, pictured here awaiting some peasant to lick his boots, has his apologists, one of the reasons why he was able to sustain control for that long, before 20th century technology assured that any autocrat could secure an absolute dictatorship, was through control of the press. Diaz introduced a lovely little idea known as Ley Mordaza, the gagging rule. If a journalist during the Diaz regime was accused of libel or sedition, well, Diaz abolished the right to a jury trial. And he paid out big money to anyone who published propaganda. He had a gang of thugs known as the Bravi. They would come into various newspaper offices and beat the shit out of anyone who wasn't sucking Diaz's dick. And I bring up Diaz's name up because, well, it certainly sounds like Jeff Bezos believes he's living in 19th century Mexico. He posted this on X. He, of course, is the owner of the Washington Post. We are going to be writing every day in support and defense of 2 pillars, personal liberties and free markets. We'll cover other topics too, of course, but viewpoints opposing those pillars will be left to be published by others. In short, the Washington Post, under this particular edict, is no different from any of the sycophants who published newspapers under Porfirio Diaz. And it does beg the question, will Trump have his own version of Diaz's Bravi to beat the shit out of anyone who expresses an opposing viewpoint to his autocratic bullshit? We know that Jeff Bezos and Trump have spent a lot of quality time with each other. I'm certain that a quid pro quo from Mar-a-Lago was probably one of the reasons why Bezos published it. Probably one of the reasons why he wanted us to go back to 19th century Mexico here in the fucking States. But let's let Jeff Bezos have the last word here. There was a time when a newspaper, especially one that was a local monopoly, might have seen it as a service to bring to the reader's doorstep every morning a broad-based opinion section that sought to cover all views. Today, the internet does that job. So the Washington Post will not be hiring a pundit or an expert or an authority to publish anything against these 2 ostensible pillars of American values under Donald Trump. Boycott the Washington Post. Boycott Amazon. Lex Luthor here does not believe in democracy. He doesn't believe in variegated viewpoints. He wants us to go back to where 19th century Mexico was under Porfirio Diaz.